A lot has changed since the war started. It has been 5.5 years. I don't even know where to begin. This almost doesn't feel real. I can't even remember what normal feels like. My memories are fading. I feel numb and weak. My name is Wojak, also known as 9202208, residing in pod 420, block 69.
Feeding complete. Please remove the feeding tube and proceed to your workstation. Have a wonderful day.
I guess I will start with my living conditions. It's hard to wrap my head around living in a pod, but others prophesied that this day was coming. I guess I was somewhat naive. I could spend an hour going through what we the Wagie class know about or speculate how the system works, but that might be for another time. Essentially, due to the events happening around the world, resources became very scarce and were diverted to efforts the state deemed more important. Inflation went through the roof and people could not afford to live anymore. It started with rent prices being so high, it became hip to live in a tiny space. Tiny homes and pod living became a mainstream trend. Then it got bad. Those who owned property could not afford their mortgage payments, so their properties were handed over to the state. Wagies like me who rented were assigned a social class then housed accordingly. We were then forced into pods and micro-apartments. What belongings we had were stripped from us. Even the clothing off our backs. The state now provides us our clothing. A doll jumpsuit. We all wear them. There is no freedom of expression. Except for the military and government officials. They have their own uniforms. And people of higher class level have special designation badges on theirs. The jumpsuits make it easy on us. Less time worrying about what to wear. More time to work. Easier for the state to identify us quickly too. Oh yeah, the feeding tube. That was probably weird for you to see. I guess I should address that. Food has become almost non-existent. The food you can purchase costs too much for us in the Wagie class. It is just not something that is attainable without going to the black market. The state provides us with a liquid calorie meal 2 times a day. We aren't sure of what it contains or the nutritional value. But there can't be much in it. Most people starve to death or die from malnutrition. If you earn extra social credits you can be awarded a meal drop. Don't count on it though. You need to be a little bit resourceful in order to survive. I bet you are thinking, what does everyone do for work? Well, after the World War began, the government decided what businesses were essential to keep citizens alive, and what business efforts would be needed to support the war. If you were not working, or working in an industry that was deemed non-essential, the government assigned you a new job. Those who did not comply were hauled off. Presumably to a labor camp, but we really don't know.
Shut them down, if they do not comply. Send them to the labor camp. Anyone who is not fit for work. Make them disappear.
Those that were working in an essential industry already were now under the control of government officials. The businesses were essentially stolen from their owners. I was working for Wagie Mart when this all went down. So, you would think my day-to-day wouldn't be so different. Well, even retail business changed in a major way. There is no need for large retail stores anymore. People don't have the luxury of going out and choosing goods they wish to purchase. Most retail stores have been turned into giant warehouses. Citizens can then make purchases through the state-run app, assuming they have enough government-issued digital currency and social credits to do so. My job now is to organize the warehouse of goods, and when an order comes through, we will pick it and have it ready for in-store pickup or send it out by courier service. How could this have happened, you may ask? There are no way business owners, land owners, property owners would just allow the government to strip you of all that you have worked for. But the truth is, it was never yours to begin with. Over the years the government used the tax system to ensure nothing you own could ever truly be yours. You don't pay your tax, now you owe the government. You can't pay the government bill, now the government owns you. It didn't get to that extreme overnight. But we all were too preoccupied with distractions in our lives to care. It starts off with the government restricting, banning or taxing things that only affect a small amount of people. The masses don't pay any attention because it didn't affect them. Then the government does it again, and the masses say nothing. Then it turns into do this, don't do that, you are helping the greater good of society. Some people will rebel, but they are shamed and outcasted, even banned from eating in a restaurant or getting on a plane. The people that did comply feel a part of something, they are in the majority, they are helping. By the time the next government decision affects the masses, It is too late. They have already given up all their rights. It is game over. You live in a pod now. What was that old saying? You will own nothing, and you will be happy.